Hello all, and let's continue now with part 3 of practice 9-1. We are ready now to activate, run, and test our integration flow as before. Instead of task 1 clicking a toggle switch, the UI has changed slightly. So we close our integration, and then instead of toggle switch, there is that activate button, power button. Then we click on, and as before, we are going to enable tracing to include payload and activate the integrations. Now remember, this integrations is invoked by REST one web post request. So what we need again is, of course, let me refresh the screen. There we go. To be in active status, we are going to need that metadata information which we get from the run link. So on the how to run, I mean on the run icon, there is the metadata URL. We are going to capture that link address. And if you look at the lab instruction this time, instead of using a browser for testing, we are going to go in SOAP UI and set up a REST project. So this time, select a REST project. We will paste in that metadata link, and then we will execute a request to get the metadata information. Let me do that now in SOAP UI. I click on the REST for new REST project, paste in that link that I just got, and click OK. If I immediately click on get request to that, that's going to return me a view of what's expected. Now that this is a XML view, if I click on the HTML tab, I have got a little bit better information like the endpoint URI. And then down below, notice there is the resource URI, the post method, the sample request that's expected. Again, this is one way call. All right, so let's now set up our real request that we need to do. First thing we need to do is going in and set up our security as before. So if we go into the auth tab, we select basic. This will allow our credential to go over an HTTP header when we invoke inside of this project. And then what we will do is get ready to make the request by using the right endpoint URI. So let's get through step 8 in my project. So click on authorization, basic credential. I'll put in my credential again, and let me paste in my password. Now, unlike so project, there is nothing to paste into. There's no header to paste into. It's just automatically a part of the project. So now what we want to do is we want to update, if we can see up here, replace the metadata with this endpoint. So if you can just copy and paste from there, and just going to replace the data link with that information. So now it's got my endpoint for my integration. Let's go back to our instructions. Our instructions say we want to go over to the raw tab. Let's click on that to get ready to make our request. Next, what we're going to do is we are going to change the get method to a post method. Click on the request tab and apply for empty JSON string with empty curly brackets for the payload, and then we can execute the post request, and we should get hopefully a 202 accepted response back. So let me walk through that. I'm going to change my get method to post. I will set up my request. Notice it's JSON by default, and I just simply type in an empty curly brackets to send the request, and now I can click the submit. So when I click the submit, indeed, it takes just a moment to get a 202 accepted back from the OIC environment. Now is our opportunity to navigate back to our console, to get to the monitoring portal, get to the integrations page, get to our instances, and we will click on the primary identifier, which is simply that empty request wrapper link. And in fact, if we get there quickly enough, we might be able to see it's still in progress. In fact, I'm going to try to get there right now. So you can see what that looks like. So let's click on track instances. And indeed, I can see that the status for that request wrapper is in progress. If I click on it, if you see, I can actually see where it is in progress, and indeed, where as expected, it's in wait activity. There's a 2-minute wait activity. In fact, you can just click on that little icon to see that's been configured for a 2 minutes wait. We have already uploaded the zip file to the UCM, and now we are just simply waiting for that 2 minutes timer to continue on. If I go back to my instructions, it now talks about at some point we can click to see the full details once the 2 minutes has expired. I'm going to wait just a few seconds longer. If I ever want to get update to this page up here, uh, upper right, if you click on the refresh icon, it will do that for you. And I can see it's still in that wait state. By the way, what's interesting, we are going to go the activity stream later now, but if I go early to the activity stream, it still renders information as to what has been so far. In fact, it shows that it's currently in that wait status. So you can actually look at the activity stream while it's in progress. You don't have to wait until the instance is completely over before it's done. We will give it just a little bit more time. Let me refresh that icon again. It's still in progress. By the way, if I close this page, notice it takes make me back to my instance. Or and just I close it. It goes from the pending status, in progress status to the succeed status. So I can guarantee if I click back into the request wrapper, it will take